Hello and welcome to Nltv News. Now this is Johanna Muri and we'll start with the headlines. Nagaland Chief Minister Nltv says total repealment of Armed Forces Special Powers Act might be delayed and partial reduction of AUSPA is a trial to observe as to how the state performs under changed circumstances. Rio urges all stakeholders to make the decision carefully and seriously and do the needful to maintain law and order in the state. Naga People's Front along with Nagaland Ayush Doctor Association extends support to Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association demands on superannuation age for all government medical doctors from 60 to 62 in Nagaland state. NPF President Dr. Shirozele Legise questions the government, asking why they are unable to resolve the matter on time. Four-time Chief Minister and former Governor Dr. S.C. Jamir appeals to Prime Minister Narendra Modi to take a decision on securing the much-awaited Nagaland political issue. S.C. Jamir notifies PM Modi about the formal meetings with the various Naga political groups which were held for many long years, during which all relevant issues were deliberated. In a memorandum to Governor Jagdish Mukhi, Naga Mothers Association insists the centre to move the Parliament for repeal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act, as Nagaland Assembly had already passed a resolution in this regard. Association's President Abiyu Meru strongly objects reduction AUSPA in certain areas, while AUSPA still remains to be prevalent in some areas. Amid emergency, Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says he will not step down from his post but is ready to hand over the government to whichever party proves a majority of 113 seats in parliament. Lanka's parliament is set to convenes its first session since state of emergency was imposed in the country. Now the news. Nagaland Chief Minister Nltv on Monday stated that the total repealment of Armed Forces Special Powers Act may delay with the partial reduction of AUSPA in state with a trial by the Government of India to observe as to how the state performs without the act. In the consultative meeting held on AUSPA in Chumukedima, CM Rio urged all stakeholders to take the matter seriously and do the needful to maintain law and order in the state, and also asked for the cooperation to avoid unforeseen incidents in the state during the period of the trial. He further acknowledged the centre for answering the plea of all stakeholders for the abolishment of AUSPA and further stated that Naga solution is for all Nagas, hence Nagas should harbour a sense of unity and oneness and avoid personal selfishness and demands. Naga People's Front along with Nagaland Ayush Doctors Association has extended support to the Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association demand on superannuation age for all government medical doctors from 60 years of age to 62 in Nagaland state. On the other hand, NPF President Dr. Shirozele Legise questioned the government, asking why they are unable to resolve the matter in time if they are really actively considering the issue, as NIDA has already stated that Nagaland has shortage of medical doctors. He further stated that the government applies the same benchmark to health services in matter of banning creation of posts or extension of services. NPF President appealed to the government of Nagaland to take up the matter urgently so many patients may not suffer the consequences. NADA General Secretary Dr. Sashilo Meg and Vice President Dr. Elvis A. Chike said that the PM Modi also announced that the age of superannuation in respect of doctors belonging to all categories, that is, allopathy, dental, Ayush, shall be 62 years, while Dimapur, Pek and Woka youths of NIDA has also voiced support to enhance the superannuation age to 62. The four-time Chief Minister and Governor Dr. S.C. Jammeh appealed to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to take a decision on securing the much-awaited Naga political issue. As per sources, Dr. S.C. Jammeh notified PM Modi about the formal meetings which with various Naga political groups were held for many long years, during which all relevant issues were deliberated. Jammeh also appreciated PM Modi for his brave decision in delivering the promise made by the Nagas for securing early resolution to the decades-old Naga political issue by signing the agreement with NPGS. Dr. S.C. Jammeh also questioned as to why there is a delay in the Naga political solution when talks and negotiations have been concluded since October 31, 2029. In a memorandum to Governor Jagdish Mukhi, Naga Mothers Association has insisted that the centre should move to Parliament for repeal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act, as Nagaland Assembly had already passed a resolution in this regard. Association's President Abiu Meru and Secretary Lochambeni Huntoy strongly objected to reducing AFSPA in certain areas, while AFSPA still remains to be prevalent in some areas. NMA stated that the continuation of AFSPA portrays the peaceful areas as disturbed areas, which also proves to be an insult to the many years of peace maintained by the NMA. MLA Zale Rio on Monday took down to Twitter and congratulated Nagaland police team for the runners-up award from the 68th Lokpriya Gopinath Bortoloi Trophy football tournament. He further congratulated Nltv Chale of Titsipama village for bagging the best goalkeeper of the tournament. Notably, the tournament was held in Guwahati on April 3rd. A state-level Special Revenue Team of Power Department held a meeting for the financial year 2021-22 at the office of SLDC Nagarjan Kuda in Dimapur. Furthermore, Joint Secretary Power Sarah S. Jamir, while chairing the meeting, congratulated Team Dimapur and Chumukedima for achieving rupees 102 crore. Jointly, she commented that the Dimapur and Chumukedima divisions were collecting more than 50% against the rest of the state revenues collected during the financial year 2021-22. She encouraged the two divisions to keep up with the momentum and work towards achieving 100% of the revenue target in the coming years, keeping in mind the certification of consumers. Meanwhile, both the executive engineers of Chumukedima and Dimapur thanked the Special Revenue Team for their continued support and monitoring, that they were pointing out that the team's actively involvement with revenue actively has hugely contributed to the improvement of revenue and improved power supply in the division. MLA Esha Konyak on Sunday launched the new portable ultrasound machine at CHC Aboy in Mon District. Notably, the machine has been sponsored by Selco Foundation under CSR funding through the initiative of the Administrative Department held by Deputy Commissioner of Mont, Tavasilan K. Meanwhile, the medical staff conveyed their appreciation to Selco Foundation and the administration for the continuous support in strengthening the healthcare system and delivering system. The Angami Women Organization, through a release, urged all its constituent members from across Nagaland to take part in the Angami Public Organization's Golden Jubilee celebrations. Notably, the Jubilee is scheduled to be held on April 8 at Kucheze in Kohima with the theme Angamia Thiru. The notification further stated that the Golden Jubilee celebrations, which occurs once in a lifetime, will bring all Angamis from various walks of life to foster better understanding and unity among its members, through sharing a simple food cooked with common heart. At the block meeting level Poshan Panchayat of ICDS Jaluke project under the Department of Social Welfare Parent was held on Saturday at Welfare Women Conference Hall in Jaluke town. During the meeting, ADC Jaluke Dr. Tinojong Shichang spoke on the role of Panchayat and encouraged the local leaders to disseminate awareness in health and nutrition at the block level. Meanwhile, BDO Tening Kiangu explained the importance of rainwater harvesting as a sustainable process that helps in preserving water. Stating that the scarcity of water has become a significant cause of concern, he encouraged the local leaders to conserve water. Veterinary Hospital Kohima conducted a free anti-rabies vaccination camp at a hospital premises on Monday, April 4 from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. near Tinpati. During the camp, veterinary surgeon Dr. Elizabeth Yom stated that antivirus vaccination was conducted every year where dogs were administered the vaccine to keep them safe from incurable infections, viral diseases. She also spoke about the importance of anti-rabies vaccines by stating that rabies was caused by virus in dogs which could be transmitted to human beings, and therefore in order to avoid such occurrences, she urged every pet owner to come forward and vaccinate their pets. Notably, a total of 108 dogs were vaccinated at the camp. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to freedom fighter Babu Jagjeevan Ram on the 115th birth anniversary on Tuesday. Modi took down to Twitter and remarked that the nation will always remember Ram's remarkable contribution during the freedom movement and after independence. Notably, Ram was one of India's greatest Dalit icons who fought for the rights of the underprivileged. Ram also served as defense minister during the India-Pakistan War in 1971. Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma is set to visit 32 districts across state from May 11 to June 11 to remark the one-year anniversary of his government. Notably, Sharma is scheduled to inaugurate and dedicate various projects of the people of the state. Sharma will also host public interactions and meetings while on his visit. A gang of four allegedly robbed a family of valuable worth rupees 10 lakh at knife point in Guwahati's Chadribari area on Monday. The incident reportedly took place in morning when four unidentified men barged in the house residence of the Chechar family located on the 4th floor of Kashinri residence and threatened the occupants with knives. During the time of the incident, there were not only women and children inside the home. The police said that the unidentified person threatened them and asked them to keep their mouths shut when they snatched their older jewelries and money and they could not find inside the apartment. The family has filed an FIR with the Paltan Bazar police station and further investigation has been initiated. The accused have been caught on CCTV and based on the footage, the investigation has been carried out. Government of Meghalaya Office of the Sub-Divisional Officer Punsurla Civil Subdivision Punsurla informed that the NH4 Shillong-Dauki road at Saitapankon village had been cut off due to the intensified rainfall. SDO Civil advised the public to exercise caution while travelling, except during the night, especially during the night, as there is every likelihood of landslides. It is to be mentioned that the restoration of work is in progress and plying of vehicles isn't restricted in those areas for a certain period. India witnessed the 13th revision in fuel prices on 15 days, with petrol and diesel rates have gone up by 80 paisa each on Tuesday. Notably, petrol and diesel in Delhi will now cost rupees 104.61 and rupees 95.87 per litre respectively, while in Mumbai petrol will cost rupees 119.67 per litre after an increase of 84 paisa, and diesel will cost rupees 103.92, increased by 85 paisa. It is to be mentioned that the total increase in fuel rates is now rupees 9.20 per litre.
आपसे हमारी यही निवेदन है कि ऑटो चलाने में बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है और डीजल और पेट्रोल इस तरह से महंगा हो गया, सीएनजी भी महंगी हो रही है और हम लोगों को बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। सवारी भी नहीं निकल रही, सवारी भी नहीं मिल रही है और रोटी खाना मुसीबत हो गया। और क्या रेट था सवारी का? क्या रेट है? सवारी का जो रेट पहले था वही आज भी है, उसमें कोई परिवर्तन नहीं हो रहा है। सवारी 1 रुपये बढ़ा किराया नहीं देना चाहती है और पेट्रोल डीजल इस तरह महंगा होता जा रहा है कि जीवन जीने में एकदम असमर्थ आदमी हो गया।
प्रतिदिन का नियम हो गया है, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आज अभी तो क्या कर सकते हैं।
क्या अपेक्षा है सरकार?
क्या बताएं हम आपको, तो मजदूर लोग हैं, जितना बढ़ता जा रहा है उसके हिसाब से काम करते जा रहा है। मजदूरी तो बढ़ नहीं रही है, सीधा पेट्रोल ही बढ़ रहा है और कुछ तो हो नहीं रहा है।
आपके जीवन में कितना बदलाव आ रहा है इससे?
हमारे जीवन में क्या बदलाव आएगा, और गरीब हैं तो और गरीब होते जाएंगे और क्या होगा। बच्चे पाल रहे हैं और क्या है।
अब क्या करें, हम अकेले बोलने से कोई होगा, जनता एक हो जाए तो हो सकता है कम हो जाए। एकता में बहुत शक्ति होता है। अब अकेले हम बड़ा करेंगे कोई मतलब नहीं। सरकार को सुना ना हो तो इकट्ठा होकर बोलना पड़ेगा, हो जाएगा काम। सब मिलके ही बोलेंगे, दुख तकलीफ सबको एक है। हम अकेला चिल्लाएंगे कोई मतलब नहीं। सब जनता को तकलीफ तो होता ही।
कितना फर्क पड़ा आपको?
बहुत फर्क पड़ा। सब्जी भाजी लाकर सब्जी खाना ही बंद कर दिया। ये चलना जरूरी है।
वो तो रोज का ही काम हो रहा है, रोज आज 1 रुपये रोज ही बढ़ रहा है। वो तो प्रतिदिन का नियम हो गया है, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आज अभी तो क्या कर सकते हैं।
क्या अपेक्षा है सरकार?
क्या बताएं हम आपको, तो मजदूर लोग हैं, जितना बढ़ता जा रहा है।
BJP's top brass held a meeting at the party's office in New Delhi on Monday to formulate the plan for the programs to be held on party's Foundation Day on April 6. According to sources, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to be followed by the address of a senior party leader who will speak on the history and struggle of the party. Party senior leader including party's National President J.B. Nadda, National General Secretary B.L. Santoshi, C.D. Ravi, Kailash Vijayanagria and others were also present at the meeting. BJP is planning to include every wing of the party in the program and will play LED screens will be installed at every polling booth to felicitate the peoples attending the Prime Minister's speech and also to know more about various schemes of government. The party is planning to celebrate the day in every state. The BJP will also organize various programs starting from April 6 till 20. Delhi University students held a protest on Monday demanding that exams for final year students should be conducted in online mode. It may be mentioned that after almost 2 years, the university has announced that the exams will be held in physical mode for 6th semester students. On the other hand, the students demanding that the exams should be held in an online mode, open book mode. For that reason, nearly 1,000 protesters from various student bodies took part in the protest that was held outside the arts faculty inside the campus. Moreover, students claimed that they were detained by the police for protesting inside the campus and further stated that they are ready to go on a hunger strike if their demands are not met. Meanwhile, on the other hand, police said that the protesters were creating chaos all over the place outside the art faculty, causing inconvenience and obstructing the traffic. Eventually, local police said that some of the protesters were taken to police station and will be released soon. President of India Ramnath Kovind embarked on 3 days official visit to Netherlands on Monday. Kovind, along with his wife and First Lady Savita Kovind, arrived in Amsterdam and visited world-famous tulip garden at Kiekenhof. Notably, Kovind named a tulip flower Maitri, meaning friendship in Sanskrit, to mark 75 years of diplomatic relations between India and Netherlands. Furthermore, Kovind expressed gratitude to the Netherlands government for the unique gesture. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his best wishes to Indian-American singer Falguni Shah for winning the first ever Grammy. Taking down to Twitter, Modi congratulated Falguni Shah on winning the award for the Best Children's Music Album at the Grammys and wished her very best for her future endeavors. Notably, Falguni won the Best Children's Music Album Grammy for A Colorful World on Sunday. She is the only Indian origin woman to be nominated in the Best Children's Music category album at the Grammys twice. Moreover, she even performed and collaborated with music maestro A.R. Rahman. Sri Lanka's opposition parties on Monday rejected President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's invitation to join the proposed unity government as Assam. Sri Lanka's opposition dismissed President Rajapaksa's invitation to join a unity government as nonsensical and instead demanded his resignation over the country's worsening shortages of food, fuel and medicines. Lanka's parliament is set to convene its first session since a state of emergency was imposed, as the country grapples with protests and mounting demands for the president's resignation over worsening economic crisis. The Lankan president has named 4 ministries to maintain the legitimacy and stability of the parliament until a full cabinet is appointed. An emergency health situation has been declared in Sri Lanka from Tuesday because of the severe drug shortages in the country. Gotabaya Rakshapayas on Tuesday informed senior party member that he will not step down as Sri Lankan president but is ready to hand over the government to whichever party proves that it is of a majority of 113 seats in parliament. Rajapaksa held political meetings on Monday even as public protest continues against shortage of essential goods and electricity power cuts. Parliament is scheduled to convene for the first time today. Since the public protest and with Speaker Mahida Yapa Abhiwantara presiding to conduct a vote to determine which party holds the absolute majority of 113 seats in the 225-member assembly. The misery continues for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. The search for the first win of session goes as the Lucknow Super Giants chalked them in the final overs to seal the win of 12 runs. Sunrisers Hyderabad's Speaker Kane Wilson won the toss and chose to bowl first. Lucknow Super Giants keeper Rahul alongside Deepak Huda led LEG's fights as both players scored half-century as part of the massive 87-run partnership. Huda departed for a knock of 51 in 33 bowls while Rahul made 60 in 50 bowls. Ultimately, LSG put a respectable score of 169 on board in the second innings. Sunrisers Hyderabad started their chase continuously before Kane Williamson fell in the fourth over to Avish Khan, who also picked 4 wickets in the game. Avish Khan was awarded the player of the match. The win takes the LSG to 5th on the points table with 4 points in 3 games behind the Kings 11 Punjab. For Sunrisers, 2 in 2 losers are their struggle to find their mojo continues. That is all for now. Thank you for tuning in. For more updates, keep watching Nltv.
New YY Dynamite Instant Noodles. It's extra spicy. Taste that will blow your mind.
Itu teng to nipko touch brand lagaw ha.